Hi guys, welcome to the Thrive Style channel. Today's video is going to be a small, very small and simple run through of macronutrients and how we can use them throughout our day. This is going to be a very simple video. It's going to be very structured around a simple math problem to help you calculate and track your macros during the day. I'm going to do a series of videos on macronutrients for a lot of individuals that maybe have never counted their macros, don't know what to do with them, trying to learn the ins and outs of macronutrients. So I hope you enjoy this video. First things first is we're going to talk about what are macronutrients. So your macronutrients, I have them listed up here. I call them your big three, and that is going to be your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. So these are the big three in order of most important to least important. And for a lot of females, protein does not necessarily seem to be the most important macronutrient that we gravitate towards. It typically is your carb-centric macronutrients that you typically, gravitate towards. So we want to make sure that one, we focus on our protein intake as number one every single day. Then we want to move on to fats. Secret, yes, lady, fats are good, okay? We want to debunk and demyth all of the things that are pushed in your face in the 80s that fats are bad. Fats are good. Do not be scared of fats. But we also want to make sure that you're getting in the right amount of fats and the correct fats. And the next we want to move to is your carbohydrates. And these you want to make sure are good, clean sources of carbs. And we want to stay away from the highly processed, boxed carbohydrates. We want to gear more towards earth grade nutrients. So those are your macronutrients. But we can't forget about our micronutrients. And that's everything you guys get when you're eating whole foods, non-processed foods. And those are your vitamins, your minerals, your antioxidants, all the good things that your body needs to utilize to function regularly, can't say that word, on a normal everyday basis. So far we've got our macronutrients, your big three, your protein, fats, and carbs, and then a little bit about your micronutrients, which are your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants, the things that your body needs to function. So how do we use these? If you have a trainer and you have a good trainer or nutrition coach, they can calculate your macros for you. I do that a lot with my clients. I take it upon myself to calculate their macronutrients and give it to them for them. This way, I can start them off at a baseline, their BMR, their TDEE, all the good stuff that your coach should structure out for you. And then we can kind of gauge our macronutrients as training progresses and as things progress throughout their training cycle. So we are going to use a sample example of maybe somebody's daily macro intake. So right now we've got protein set at 135 grams per day. We have fat set for 90 grams per day, and we have your carbohydrates set for 336 grams per day. This is a daily intake that someone should strive to reach every single day. For certain training goals, I do want to caveat with that. Not everybody is the same, and you don't always have to count your macros. I do feel that it's important that individuals throughout their life learn how to track their food so they can put a mental picture and they can actually see what they're ingesting on a daily basis. You can, come ebb and flow with your macronutrients as I do. Sometimes I'm counting, sometimes I'm not, but it really gives you an idea of actually what you're eating, and I think it's very important. So let's just say, how do we calculate them? Now that I have the numbers, what do I do with them? How do I use them? Well, I put a sample, forgive my drawing. This could be the back of a sample pack of some food that someone might eat. So I've used a sweet and salty granola bar from Made Good. I love these things. So on the back of a Made Good granola bar, I know that one serving is 24 grams, which is the equivalent to 1 bar, okay? On the back of the packet, it says proteins are the protein in that granola bar. There's 2 grams. It says that there's 3 grams of fat in the bar, and it also says that there's 116 grams of carbs. This is what I'm getting when I eat 1 granola bar, okay? Not 2, not 5. 1 granola bar is 1 serving, which is 24 grams. Now let's say that I entered, this is the first food of the day that I eat on my brand new day, which is tomorrow, Sunday. This is the first food that I decide to eat. So it's just simple math. I take the 135 grams of protein that we start the day off with. I subtract 2 grams because that's how many grams of protein I'm eating with this granola bar. And it leaves me with 133 grams of protein remaining for the day. Then I go to the fats. I have 3 grams of fats in this granola bar. I subtract it from the 90 grams of fat that is my daily intake, and it equals out to be 87 grams of fat remaining for that day. And then last but not least, my carbs. This granola bar has 16 grams of carbs. I then subtract it from the daily intake of 336 grams of carbs, which leaves me 320 grams of carbs remaining for that day. So all in all, after I eat that 1 granola bar, I have 133 grams of protein, 87 grams of fat, and 320 grams of carbs remaining. So then I can kind of gauge the rest of my day around those macronutrients. Every time you eat something, again, you're subtracting again and again and again until at the end of the day, you should have zeros in protein, zeros in fats, and zeros in carbs. That means that you hit your total macronutrients for that day. Now, a lot of people think that if it fits your macros and counting your macros means you can eat whatever you want. That is the case. A lot of people call it flexible dieting. I would highly suggest and highly recommend that 80% of the daily intake of your food should be whole, non-processed, earth-grown nutrients, meaning you're getting your food sources from actual food, not processed in a warehouse. Now, does that mean that you can't have a granola bar or that you can't have a bowl of cereal or a sweet treat every now and then? Absolutely not. I think moderation is the key. And if 80% of your diet is earth-based, earth-grown nutrients, and you have 20% where you like to have your pumpkin cream cold brew like I do, if you like a sweet treat every now and then, that's the way to incorporate that in. But it is very, very important that you not only focus on your micronutrients, you are also focusing on your macronutrients. I had that backwards. It is also important to focus on your micronutrients as well as your macronutrients, because this is what your body needs to regenerate. Your cells use the food that you intake every single day to regenerate and to keep your body healthy. So not only are you counting your macros, you should be making sure that those foods are filled with a lot of micronutrients as well. I hope this simple breakdown of how to use your macros helps. If it does, thank you. Give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Thrive Style channel and leave me any comments or questions that you may have, and I'll get back to you. Have a great day.